Hi, welcome to the Career Cruise. My name is Violette Wambua. I am your host today. The Career Cruise is a baby of Networking in Hills, which is a platform where women come together to connect, to be mentored, to network, and to basically just get charged for whatever it is that they're doing, whether it's in their jobs, their businesses, their academic paths. So this is just a whole conversation of basically pushing one another in terms of people's careers and vocations. And so we felt that the conversation needs to come out of those rooms where the events are happening to this particular space, so that we include more and more people, more of your opinions, more of your ideas, more of your perspectives, and basically grow together. So that's what the Career Cruise is about. Welcome. Today we're talking about the correlation between a reading culture and success in life, success in business, success in career. So basically, what is it about reading that contributes to success in one's life generally? I know we've had quite a bit of a reading culture in this country, although the statistics have been showing that less and less people are reading, but then there's also been an uptick. So people are picking up their books once again, and not just Facebook, but a proper book like the one I have in my hands. I know we've had iconic people who've shown us the relationship between their success and them having a habit of reading regularly. When I was younger, and I don't want anybody to guess my age, but when I was younger, we had the neurosurgeon Ben Carson. He lives in the States, in America. So he basically said that his mom had him reading, I think, a book a week or a book every 2 weeks, and doing a proper report on that book. So of course that kept him, and she was very strict. So I kept him away from the irregular games that people would be playing. He's focusing on putting his nose in the book. He learned a lot about things that he had literally almost no business learning about. He learned about rocks, different types of rocks. And then he got to learn about, people's cultures, different types of music, etc. And then he found that contributed to his knowledge retention, even in the classroom. So of course that propelled him to becoming, a hotshot neurosurgeon that he is today. And then we also have the former president, Barack Obama, the former president of the United States of America, President Barack Obama. Every year since he's left office, every year he has unleashed a reading list. And this reading list is about like 52 books. I think either it's a book a week or 12 books for the year. There's quite a bit of books that he says this is his list, and of course with his music list as well. But we've seen a big thing that comes with reading for the former president of America, and he always has these books that he recommends. And when you talk to him about them, like I've seen interviews where he's interviewed and people say, oh yeah, he recommended this and this book, and he's put on the spot. He actually has something to say about that particular book, which I find brilliant. He's also an author himself, so obviously you can tell that, reading has been a part of him since he was quite young. And for us here also, in Kenya, in our context, we're also picking up the reading habits. I've seen quite a number of book clubs taking up space on the map. People are reading, people are picking up books, and not just for school or their studies or their work, but also just for leisurely reading. I can tell you I'm in a book club, and so our book for the month even, it's the one I'm holding here. It's called How to Love a Jamaican by Alexia Arthurs. So I just got it and I'm going to get into it. So this is not an episode to promote this book, but just to show you that it's important to read. But then also let's just discuss why, because you could hear, read. But then why? Why do you even need to read at all? Because a lot of us, once we're done with school, then, that's it, do the academic bonfire, if that is what your thing was in school, burn the books, you're done with them and all that. And you probably never have to go and open your geography textbook again or your notes again. You probably never have to go to open your biology textbook again. But, does that mean that knowledge is wasted? I know people say, I learned so many things and I don't see where I'm using chemistry in my daily life. I learned so many things in school. I don't see where this is coming into play in my daily life. And that may or may not be true. But let's discuss today about the reading culture and people's success, whether it helps people succeed in their daily lives, whether it helps people to go where they want to go, and all that. Let's see the correlation between reading and our daily lives. For me, I've got a few points about the importance of reading, or rather, not importance, we all know it's important to read, but just a benefit of reading beyond literacy, because we know you have to read for literacy. Your children have to go to school to learn how to read from ABC all the way to understand questions, comprehension, and make responses appropriately and get good grades in the process. That's for school. But outside of school, how does reading come into play? Outside of school, how does reading help you anyway? So let's go through a few points that I came across. Reading helps you to foster empathy. So when you read, and this could be anything, even the Bible, which is like the main book, and other religious books, reading helps you to foster empathy, because when you're reading, you're learning about life from another person's lens. You're learning about situations from another person's perspective. You're learning about another person's experience in different situations. And that makes you, you're being put in their shoes. You have to understand them. You may not agree with them. You could actually even judge the character that you're reading about in the book. You could laugh at them. You could mock them in your mind and think, oh, how silly is this person? But in the end, it still helps you to, you have some empathy for them. And also, so when you read about different places, different foods, different events, different people from different ages, different historical settings, it also makes you just see things a little bit better. So then you'll understand the person who could only communicate via postal mail, that had a harder time maintaining their relationship, than you who has a cell phone and the touch of a button you quickly say, hey, I'm not able to meet you today, can you postpone to whatever day? Or hey, do you want to change location to this and this place? That is for people who are in a relationship or a friendship. Now back then, because then we're able to foster that empathy, we're able to get more empathy for people who they do a PO box ... and then hope and pray that the mail arrives in time for the thing to be changed, for the event to be changed. So we're able to see life differently. We're able to understand the nuances of different times and historical settings. I mean, how life is now in this age that we're in, this day, this year that we're in. It's definitely different from how it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 15 years ago. Guys, even 5 years ago, life was different. So it helps us to sort of appreciate that and see that, you wouldn't say that people back then weren't communicating quickly because they didn't have the devices that we are blessed with to have right now. Yeah, so it gives you that. And also, when you don't have to focus on reading only. Okay, there are people who say, I only read self-help books, I only read motivational books. And others are like, I don't care for motivation, I don't care for self-help, I just want leisurely reading, I want made-up characters, fictional characters. It is okay. It's not a battle between which is better or, or worse. We're just here to promote reading. Because when you're reading, your mind is shaped in different ways. Like, regardless of the content you're consuming, it doesn't have, not everything is a self-help day, so whether it's about reading about real people or fictitious characters that made up by the author, it's still okay. It's just a way to broaden your mind and be able to accommodate different perspectives, not to agree with them. I'm not telling you to change your mind, but just to be able to accommodate other opinions. And you find that even when you're having conversations with people on a day-to-day, someone could make a statement and you're thinking, I don't agree with that. But then, you find yourself, because you're now an avid reader, you're more accommodative of even opposing ideas, and tolerant as well. So then you're able to even have better discussions with people around you. You're better able to argue your opinion or your position based on, maybe more facts, and even you're able to accommodate other people when they give you opinions that you don't really agree with. And life is able to move on because now your mind is broader and you're able to take in more, and be tolerant. So this is not just about facts, but also about your feelings. You're able to be patient with another person, as they express their views, and you're thinking, gosh, I don't like what you're saying. But because you read more, your mind is more open and you're able to accommodate them based on patience. And you're also able to have better emotional control about the situation. Because when you read about people's lives, you're able to relate with them and able to understand them better and put yourself in their shoes, see life differently. It's just amazing. So and how this helps your career, literally, I'd say, is that even at your office, at your business, as you're serving clients, as you're even looking for clients, as you're presenting to clients and you're trying to win a deal or win them over, because then your mind is broader. When they ask you questions, you're not limited to the script you have in mind that I'm only presenting the presentation and I'm killing them with this PowerPoint. No. Someone could ask you a question that would maybe normally just throw you off course, but because you're well read and you have more matter, you have more content in your mind, so you're able to take in questions and deliver proper answers. And given how you handle it, could be the thin line between winning the deal or losing the deal. So I encourage you guys to read. Honestly, please read. Reading will help your career. Also, just having that empathy. Sometimes a client could ask something and you're like, what? You don't know that? A lot of us we sort of just assume that people should be knowing things. No, people don't know everything. So when you have someone asking you a question, then you're able to empathize with them. And what is obvious for you, of course, is not obvious for them. For you, it's your job, it's your business, it's your daily routine. So obviously, your thing, you're the expert on the subject matter. The person who's asking you a question, they're not the expert. So because now you become more empathetic and more patient, you're able to explain to them like a 5-year-old. And again, they tell us that if you're not able to explain what you do to a 5-year-old, then literally you don't know what you're doing. So yes, consider picking up a book and read. Not just Facebook, not just a newspaper, not just an article. Pick up a book and walk the journey with the author from start to finish. Try. The other thing that I can say for sure is a benefit of reading is an expansion of your vocabulary. So, you don't just use the same words. Oh, I'm angry. You have other words to state that you're angry, Oh, I'm hungry. You have other words to state that you're hungry. Say, I'm ravenous. I'm famished. Such things. And you could use them in writing. So it expands your vocabulary for writing, your vocabulary for expressing yourself verbally. And it just adds a lot of color and spice to your language as you communicate with others, whether you're doing it via emails or via presentations or via just, even just talking to your friends. The language is just, you upgrade your language because you picked up a book. If you pick up a book a month, your life is set in terms of your vocabulary. So of course, this makes you, better in terms of how you understand things, and that some words mean certain things in certain contexts, and then they mean different things in other contexts, not because you picked up a book and you're able to understand. And you sort of like see how the high school literature teacher was onto something. It's just that we were too full and too bored to listen back then, Bless Madam Jane. So how it helps your career, obviously, you're able to understand, or rather you're able to conduct and understand even small researches in a better way and present them in good ways. There are a lot of us who, you're charged with, let me do some research, and that's okay. But when you come to present the research, the language is so technical, the language is so hard, the language is so, but because now you've picked up more vocabulary because of your reading culture or your reading habit, you're able to break down things into layman terms, not diluting the message, not whitewashing what the research is about or what you need to present, but you've broken it down in a way that is palatable. Even a passerby can understand what it is you're presenting, and you're better able to sell yourself to your department colleagues, the whole company at large, your clients, So when you read, your mind is more refreshed in terms of the knowledge that you have of words and how to employ them in your day-to-day. And then, of course, that will boost the your company's or your business's profile, and possibly win you more clients, I think. Yeah, so you become an asset to any situation you're in the moment you pick up a reading culture, pick up a reading habit. Yeah, so you'll even be able to command more respect from your peers and your bosses. I mean, why not? Your clients will be looking forward to your phone calls with you because they know, this person, their language, they're teaching us a thing or two every time we're on the phone with them. And who doesn't want that? Reading adds value to you as an individual and adds value to every situation you find yourself in. Whether you like it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, that's the truth. Another benefit I'd say of reading is reading inspires you to be creative. It sparks a certain level of creativity within you. I know you're just thinking, reading about princesses and diaries, reading about, young boys running around in their different adventures. But, the author was inspired and got some creativity for that. And this is somehow transmitted to you as a reader. So there's a lot of it transmitted to you, even subconsciously, when you're reading. And so you come out of a book and you're like, I wonder if that is possible. You find yourself having so many eureka moments just because you read. Like, guys, everybody needs eureka moments for their lives, like aha moments. And a lot of that is inspired by, it's a byproduct of reading. It's a byproduct of all the books that you pick up to read. And they don't have to be big, heavy books. No, guys, like, please. Even this is fat enough, So yeah, pick up a book and read, and you'll see how creative you become with time. You may not become creative that day, but give it time. You'll start to see a change even in your tastes, a change in your attitudes, a change in your, how you do things, even in your executions of activities and words and actions. You just see a very big difference, And obviously, how this helps your career is, in every job, every business situation, you need to be creative, whether it's ad hoc, on your knees, or on your feet, thinking on your feet like this, or even just working through a project that of course is timed. So yeah, creativity is important, creativity is welcomed, creativity just adds so much color to everything that you're doing. When you're creative, we are not just being creative for and of ourselves. No. It affects every other thing we're doing across the board. So yes, please pick up a book and get your creativity inspired. You will benefit from it greatly. The people around you benefit from it. Your clients will benefit from it, so why not? Just pick a book, Something else I can say about reading, obviously, it is such a good mood stabilizer. Like, it will lessen your stress. We do not want to be stressed in this life. So please pick up a book, be comfortable, you can be taking your tea or sipping something else while you're reading, or have some calm ambient music if you want, or do all these things that you enhance your relaxation. I feel like when I'm thinking about self-care, a book should be part of self-care. Like, reading a good book should be part of self-care. And I remember when I was younger, of course now I would go everywhere with the bus or matatu. I'd always have a novel in my bag. So when the journey starts, I've already paid my fare, I start flipping through my book and I'm reading through it. And you're literally, yes, I'm in transportation. This is public transportation. But I've been transported mentally to other places. I'm in France, I'm in Norway, I'm in Australia, I'm in Japan, I'm in Tanzania, I'm in Uganda, all those places. I feel like if there was a passport that could show you all the countries you've been via the books you've read, I think I've literally passport gang, like properly widely traveled, because I've been to all these places courtesy of the authors of the very many books I've picked up. And I think it's such a big advantage. And I think also that has helped even shape the culture here in Kenya, because we're able to understand things about other people's cultures more because we've read books. Like, our libraries have been full of books from so many different countries, so many different cultures being shared with us via these books. I think that a book is a cheap way to travel. Like, if you're not able to get a ticket and get on an airplane, of course, visa, and go to all these places. I think if you pick up a book from authors who are depicting these places in different ways, it doesn't have to be favorable ways, just even in different ways. Courtesy of reading, I learned about the war in Biafra, that part of Nigeria. So you pick up a lot of knowledge that generally no one is going to tell you, hey, sit down, let me tell you about this and this place. No. But if you pick a book, you learn about that. We learn about even adolescence, how to navigate adolescence from books. You learn how to, even how to pray from books, because then there's knowledge that your spiritual teacher or your religious leader will not share with you. But if you do pick up a book, then you realize that you're more at an advantage, how to navigate life in different ways. So yeah, and basically lessen your stress, because once you have knowledge, there's a stress that comes down, because now you feel better equipped to navigate your life's journey. And so yeah, please pick up a book. Please let us lessen stress, because we pick up books. I remember when I was in like primary school, I'd pick up books, and then, because of course my parents were happy to buy me books. I mean, that meant that I'm staying within the homestead. I am not disappearing into the estate to go and play with other children. They're able to, for them it was more of like, we're giving you these books to keep you here. But for me, they kept me at home, yes, but I escaped. So it was basically like a guilty pleasure. There are many times I was not able to do chores on time or properly because my nose was just in a book. Of course, it helped my academics. I mean, which parent doesn't want their kids scoring high grades? And I'm grateful for that. But now I also feel like it has become a bit of a guilty pleasure, because sometimes I want to just sneak off and go read. But it's not always possible. So yes, take it as part of your routine. Take a book as part of your things to do. Read like 20 pages a day. You'll see a very big difference. And you know how I say here on the career cruise, we're keeping the needle moving. Just keep it moving. That 20 pages a day, you might not see the benefits now or even next month, but by the time a year is over, you'll see a difference in your life, just because you made a habit of reading. Yeah, so, and how this helps your career, obviously, if you're not stressed, you're able to navigate your work area better. You're able to navigate your work relationships better. You're able to take on the load of your work even better, because now you're lightheaded, not lightheaded, but lighthearted. And lightheaded is not the word. You're lighthearted, and then you're less stressed, you're less moody, you're less annoyed at life. Literally, maybe you read a book and you've laughed so much, and you're bringing that joy into your walk in this life. You're bringing that joy into the work you're doing. Bring that joy into your relationships with other people. And even if you find someone who's trying to cut you off in traffic, they'll not get to you as much as they would have gone into you had you not been maybe on the high of reading a good book. Yeah, so sort of like creates a fence around you, and whatever blows come, they don't land as hard as they would have landed were you not armed with the knowledge you picked up in whatever book that you're reading. I also feel like reading teaches perseverance. So I remember one time in the book club that I'm in, that I mentioned earlier, we had a reading, and I think the book had 450 pages. As I'll confirm. It's called Chintu. It's a very fat book, and of course you have the month. Every month, whether the book is this thin or this fat, we have to finish it within a month. Otherwise, you'll incur a fine, and all that. Nobody's trying to lose money. Not now and not ever. So yeah, so persevered through it. It was a good book. The book was very well written, regardless of the amount of pages. So I find that for me, reading has encouraged other perseverance. So I'm able to persevere through things. I'm able to, hang in there until the end. And so yeah, I think it's a big deal. And how this helps your career is that you're able to persevere through a tough project. You're able to persevere through a boring project, because not everything is tough, but some things are just monotonous and to the point of being boring and just exhausting. But because you have mental resilience, then this also applies. What you say here, qua ground, you bring that to the ground, and you're able to work through activities, deliver your KPIs, sit through even the difficult things, sit through the boring things, because now you already are mentally capable and able, so which is amazing. Yeah, so please pick a book. And of course, books increase your intelligence. I think people who are well read they sound more intelligent than the rest of the people. just given their vocabulary, given their their language, how expressive they are, how they're able to just deliver their points. They're not just speaking for the sake of speaking. They're able to just give you the knowledge that you need if you ask them a question, and in a way that just pleases the mind. It's unforgettable. So obviously, but it's all because you've read different things, different genres of books. Like, please widen your genres. Don't just read one type of book or one type of author. Go through the different genres. Travel through the genres of books. This is not an advertisement, but yes, we have our national library, what they're calling now the Maktaba Kuu. Get in there, get your book, pick knowledge, ruminate on it. There'll always be context for you to use that knowledge. Nothing is ever wasted. This knowledge you could even pass on to your children or the young ones around you. So then you become a more intelligent person and a better person, because you have so much knowledge that can be passed on and can be used in the society, starting with your own context, your own family, your neighborhood, your own school situation, your classroom situation, your own office situation. Use it even when you're talking to your clients. They feel like you're being served by someone who actually cares about their work, and I think that's an amazing thing. So of course this helps your career in the way that you're able to manage even workplace conflict, because you're more knowledgeable. You know where to raise temperatures, where to lower them. You're basically more intelligent, and intelligent people hardly go unnoticed. Intelligent people are normally best placed for promotions at work, because obviously you're not just being intelligent and quiet about it and saying, oh, let me just build, it'll come. No. We're in the age of tooting our own horn. So toot your own horn a little bit. You're read, you're well read, you're better read. Why not clench the appointments? We're taking the elevator. We are, yes, going to do the hard work, but we're preferring to take the elevator and getting to the top of our careers as soon as possible, so that we can enjoy the benefits of being at the top. So pick up a book, enjoy the books. Please don't kill yourself with hard books. Some books are literally hard to read. I don't want to to get into a few of the books that have been difficult for me to go through, but pick up books, pick up biographies, autobiographies, pick up fiction, pick up motivational books, pick up self-help books, pick up books from sports icons. Read about their lives, read about the lives of the rich and famous, read silly things, read frivolous things, read whimsical things. Just improve your vocabulary, increase your intelligence, become more empathetic and more become more kind to other people because of the stories you picked up. Learn about the different nuances in society. We have all these things that say, bestie, find out about besties from people who've written about besties, let's pick up a reading and then, do better in society, be better and grow together. And I think that's what I'd say. So I'm going to pick up, I need to finish this book within a month. Hopefully, I'll start today and get into the first 40 pages, hopefully. And and get on with it. It's not a very big book. How many pages do we have here? It's okay. We have like 240 pages to work through. It's not too much. If I do 20 pages a day, you can obviously see that nitakuwa mbele within the month. And by the time I will be meeting next, then I'm not incurring any fine. And obviously I'll have known more about Jamaicans from that particular book. I don't think I'd have ever have gone to pick up this book in a bookshop. But courtesy of the book club, we have all these recommendations, and this is one everybody landed on, and that's it. So encourage yourself, push yourself out of your usual genres, and learn more about the world that way. And you will definitely see a very big difference in terms of your career. The same way we can tell which kids in school read more than just the textbooks at school, same way we can also tell who reads more than just, the work that they need to do at work, or more about the business that they deliver. Yeah, so good luck to you. Enjoy reading and see you at the top. That's all from Career Cruise today.